Today, we're unpacking an absolute masterclass in football tactics. I mean, whether you're a diehard tactician or you just love a really good underdog story, this is a match you absolutely need to understand. We're going to take a magnifying glass to this dramatic three-act tactical narrative from the round of 32 clash between Spain and Austria. It ended in a totally resounding victory for La Roja. So if you love the chess match of modern football, you know, that constant push and pull of offense versus defense, well, you're in the exact right place. Let's get right into it.
The stage for this high-stakes clash? The absolutely magnificent SoFi Stadium out in California. Picture this. On one side, you've got the reigning European champions Spain, walking out onto the pitch with a massive target on their backs. And on the other side, an incredibly disciplined Austrian squad stepping onto the grass with just one goal in mind: to execute a flawless game plan and pull off a historic upset. The tension was literally palpable from the very first whistle. It set up this classic, almost mythological battle between an irresistible attacking force and an immovable defensive object.
Act 1. The tactical breakthrough. Let's take a look at exactly how the opening phase of this match unfolded. From the very moment the game kicked off, Luis de la Fuente's men completely grabbed the steering wheel. Spain immediately established total control over the tempo. The engines of their strategy, Rodri and Dani Olmo, were just constantly probing, searching for even the tiniest fracture. And Austria's response? Pure discipline. I mean, they didn't panic at all. They dropped into a stubborn, highly disciplined low block. And this brilliantly illustrates the tactical contrast here. Austria was practically daring Spain to find a way through their maze of defenders. It was such a fascinating standoff to watch.
Okay, let's dive into this timeline to really understand how Spain dismantled that puzzle. We need to look at three defining moments. You've got the crucial initial breakthrough right at the 36-minute mark, a spectacular hammer blow in the 66th, and then a final exclamation mark in the 89th. Keeping this roadmap in the back of our minds really helps us understand the psychological shifts happening on the pitch as the game went on.
So let's zoom in on that first pivotal moment in the 36th minute. Look, when you're facing a disciplined low block, frustration is easily your biggest enemy. But Spain, they didn't force it. Their persistent pressure and absolute patience eventually paid off in a big way. They strung together this beautifully executed team move that manipulated the Austrian defense just enough to create a tiny sliver of space. And then, boom! Mikel Oyarzabal found that space inside the box and filed an absolute rocket past goalkeeper Alexander Schlager. You could literally feel the collective exhale from the Spanish side. It was a textbook lesson in trusting your tactical system until the opposition finally cracks.
Act 2. Consolidating the reign. So the halftime whistle blows, sending both managers down the tunnel to essentially adjust their pieces on the chessboard.
Which leads us directly to the most critical question of the second half. How did Austria respond? Ralf Rangnick is a masterful tactician, right? And trailing 1-0 against a possession-heavy team like Spain, well, that requires a very specific, highly calculated reaction. He couldn't just sit back and absorb pressure anymore. He had to find a way to flip the script.
Rangnick's answer came in the form of a bold double substitution right at the break. He brought on Carney Chukwuemeka and Florian Grillitsch. The strategy here was pretty clear. Inject some fresh legs into the midfield, disrupt Spain's rhythm, and hit them fast and hard on the counterattack. But it just didn't work. Spain's defense was honestly impenetrable. Anchored by the center-back pairing of Aymeric Laporte and Pau Cubarsí, the Spanish backline absorbed that new pressure flawlessly. They completely neutralized Austria's organized efforts and denied the attackers any clean looks at the goal.
But the real turning point happened while Austria was desperately searching for that equalizer. In the 66th minute, a major tactical decision by Luis de la Fuente was fully vindicated. He started Pedro Porro at fullback, specifically knowing about Porro's aggressive attacking tendencies. So the crucial point is that this tactical gamble paid massive dividends. Porro pushed forward with pure intent, caught the shifting Austrian defense totally off guard, and unleashed this spectacular strike. Just like that, La Roja doubled their lead. That goal didn't just change the scoreline, it fundamentally shattered Austria's momentum, leaving Rangnick's squad with an absolute mountain to climb.
Act 3. The final flourish. This right here is where we see the ruthless, cold-blooded efficiency of a championship-caliber team closing out a game. Let's move to and see how this builds in the chaotic final minutes of the match. With a really comfortable 2-goal cushion, Spain had the ultimate luxury of rotating in fresh, world-class talent from their deep bench, guys like Gavi and Ferran Torres. Now with Austria forced to commit numbers forward in absolute desperation to try and salvage the match, massive gaps started tearing open in their defensive line. And Spain didn't just casually pass the ball around to kill time, no. They ruthlessly capitalized on it, launching swift, lethal transitions straight into all that newly emptied space.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the number 2. That was the magic number for Mikel Oyarzabal on the night. Finding himself on the receiving end of a lightning-fast transition in the 89th minute, he was just incredibly clinical. He struck once more, completing a brilliant brace. It was the perfect exclamation mark on an already masterful performance. It highlights exactly why you can literally never switch off defensively against this Spanish side, not even in the dying final seconds of a match.
The final whistle blew on a resounding 3-0 victory. And this wasn't just a win. It was a massive tactical statement sent to every other team in the tournament. Spain demonstrated the extreme patience required to break down a low block, the defensive solidity needed to survive counterattacking adjustments, and the ruthless transitional play to finally put the game to bed. This complete start-to-finish performance firmly secures their place in the next round, setting the stage for what promises to be an absolute blockbuster quarterfinal showdown.
Which leaves us with this final thought as we wrap up today. Just witnessed a team that can completely control the ball, shut down counterattacks effortlessly, and punish you from literally every angle of the pitch. So, can any team break through this impenetrable, dynamic Spanish squad in the quarterfinals? I'll tell you what, it's the number one question every remaining manager in the tournament is agonizing over right now. Thank you so much for joining me to break down these incredible tactics. Keep analyzing, keep watching closely, and I'll catch you for our next deep dive.